Good. Well, the objective of the scrimmage today was, to play at least part of the scrimmage, the first part of the scrimmage, a little bit like an exhibition game-like situations, and with penalties and substitutions, and for the first probably 55 or 60 plays, played it just like a game. And during that part of the scrimmage, I was really pleased with especially the way our ones played, because the ones played against the twos, both ways, first offense against the second defense, and I thought the intensity and energy was good, both ways. And, both first units probably, did a pretty good job. After that, we went back to situational stuff where we played good on good, and obviously when you play good on good, somebody wins and somebody loses, and there were good things and bad things both ways. I think the biggest thing that came out of today's scrimmage is probably need more players to be able to compete at a higher level. I was not really pleased with the way, some of our twos competed. You get a few guys that aren't playing all the time, and you're trying to give some young guys some opportunities to play, so you get a look at them, and they don't respond maybe the way you'd like for them to, which is a sign of maturity, and these are the kind of lessons that they learn from and grow from. But if I would say there's one thing that I would want to make a big improvement in, it is how our second units actually competed and played and executed, and I think they can be a lot better than they were, and that's what we need to do. There's obviously a lot of things that we need to do to get game ready. I still feel like, even though we didn't have a lot of penalties, the kind of penalties that we have are critical. A false start coming out, an offsides on third down twice that converts to a first down, things like that that are undisciplined type penalties that just kill you in critical situations in the game. I thought we ran the ball, a little better in this scrimmage. Trent had like 7 carries for 39 yards, and Eddie had 6 or 7 for maybe 50-some yards or whatever. We made some big plays offensively, which is a good thing, but sometimes we made those plays when maybe the competition we made them against wasn't what it should have been or could have been or needed to be. So, and I think both quarterbacks got an opportunity to play with the first unit and the second unit, and both guys, played, pretty evenly. So we're not going to give those statistics out again. We're not going to make this a public debate based on completion percentage or touchdown passes, because there's so many factors that go into it. Who you're playing against, the guys you're playing with, the defense totally bust and you throw a touchdown pass, so that means something. We'd like to do it more on how did they execute doing the things that we want them to do, that we need to do. So, Dre Kirkpatrick did not scrimmage today because he has a leg injury that is something that's probably going to keep him out. We hope that he'll be back on Tuesday. I think when you play that position, if you can't run as fast as you can run, you're certainly not going to get any better trying to play if you can't run. So he has made improvement, and we're hoping he'll be back Tuesday. We will give the players 2 days off, Sunday and Monday. It's kind of typical what we do, trying to get the rest and recovery, to get them back after what's been a good fall camp, but a tough fall camp. That's the way we wanted it to be, and that's the way it should be. Everybody wants to win, but you don't get what you want in this world. You get what you earn, you get what you deserve. So we've got to go earn it. Our players have worked hard. They need a few days off. We need to continue to improve next week before we get into game week, so that we can, get more guys playing winning football for us. So next practice will be on Tuesday.
Questions? Eric?
I was going to ask you, can you tell about the overall chemistry of the team at this point?
Well, I think leadership is really, really important. I think that the energy and intensity was not what it needed to be today. It was really warm out there, and as the scrimmage wore on, I thought we got a little bit sluggish, and I would like to see more positive energy from some guys to affect others. We've had really good leadership on this team, and guys have done a good job of that, but we really need to continue that on a consistent basis, and guys need to realize how their body language affects other people. But I feel like, this team has got a good chemistry. You never know about that until you go play, and they've done things the right way so far.
Couple of questions, Coach. First, if you could comment on what you saw from specialists and return guys today.
Well, other than, Mays did a good job in the return game. I thought the specialists did a better job. Cody has been better, more consistent, in his punting. Cade missed a couple field goals today that he would normally make. But, overall, I think that the effort and the energy that we're getting on special teams from our team needs to improve. It's an area that we have a lot of experienced players back on, and it's something that we should expect to be good at. But we're going to have to put a little bit more into it if we're going to get the kind of results that we'd like to get.
And secondly, if you could talk about what you saw in terms of explosive plays from the wide receivers.
We made some explosive plays today. I didn't think that at some of the explosive plays that we made, we were really challenged. That's what I mean by the second defense not playing very well, not competing very well, not being in very good position. I think the big plays that we made were, a little bit easy, but they were well executed. The quarterbacks did a good job of throwing the long ball on several occasions, so those are all good things. But we probably made more explosive plays by far today than we made last week, so I was pleased with the progress that we made offensively. Played a lot better on offense, today.
Coach, when you come back on Tuesday, at what point do you start putting in Kent State game plan and start gearing toward the first game? And then if you'll answer that one, I've got one more.
Well, we kind of make that decision as we go through the week. Typically we would start on Friday, and if things go as planned, maybe we will. Maybe we'll start on Saturday. We have an extra day either way that we decide to do it. We still have some opponents that, we want to work on, and we kind of go backwards to forwards, and, we don't work on everything that they do. We just work on the things that are different from what we see that we may have adjustment to, so that we expose our players to it, both offensively and defensively and in special teams. And we still have several opponents to do that with, so we'll kind of see how that goes.
And somewhat related to that, looking at your freshmen when you start going into game preparation, do you have some freshmen who you feel like these guys will definitely be part of that game plan and definitely be playing?
Well, yeah, we do, and I'd like to see how some of those guys, really played today, and make some kind of determination as to whether we should invest the time or, in some cases, risk playing them early, and then they don't end up developing like we'd like and have, maybe issues down the road, because of it. But it's my sense in this climate that we play in right now that if a guy can help our team, we will play him as a freshman. That's always been the philosophy. It continues to be the philosophy. I think the whole climate of redshirting guys has changed. Guys graduate more quickly, and so we have quite a few of our guys that graduate in 3.5 years. So I think if a guy needs the development or is not in a position to be helpful to the team, and the experience that he would gain by playing is not sort of contributing in a positive way to his development, then it's probably not worth it. But if a guy can do that, we'll certainly play him. And I think after we look at this film, and go through another week of practice. We'll probably decide somewhere in Thursday or Friday of next week, who these guys are. I got some idea right now, but I don't really want to, throw it out there, then it changes.
Last week, a lot of the offensive linemen talked about wanting to do better, to have improvement, especially at the run block. Did you see that today?
Yeah, we ran the ball better. I think we had better pass protection today. Had a more solid pocket. I think that's part of the reason several of the explosive plays we made came off of scrambles, which is good. That we worked hard to finish plays, and I thought we ran the ball better, and I thought we had better pass protection. I thought we played more physical. I thought the intensity was better up front, and I thought the first offensive line especially played a lot better.
Last one, Don.
That you're ranked number 2 in the Associated Press preseason poll. Do you have any strong feelings about that?
Well, I always say that preseason rankings are really, for fans. It really doesn't have anything to do with the kind of team you have, or the kind of team you're going to have. It's nice to be recognized, and respected in that regard, but at the same time, how this team does will be what happens on the field. What do we do when we play the games? How much consistency do we play with? How do we compete for 60 minutes in the game? What kind of team chemistry do we have? What kind of positive energy do we have? How responsible are we to do the things that we need to do to be successful? And how willing are we work to earn what we want to try to accomplish? And I think you do all that stuff on the field. You don't do it based on any kind of preseason predictions, polls, or anything else. So it's pretty meaningless, actually. And we're looking forward to the competition and what we need to do to try to have a good season, and that's all going to get determined by what we do in the future, not what's been done in the past.
Just one last one? That I understand your reluctance not to give us statistics on the quarterbacks, but can you share just a few more thoughts about them in detail, just what you like most about them, where they need to improve between now and?
Well, I think both guys are playing well. I don't really have any issues about talking about them. I like them both. They both, make plays. They both got good arms. They're both accurate. I think the big thing will come down to, these two guys are probably a couple of the best players on our team. And, it's not out of the question that both have roles on our team in some kind of way. So I know that's, sort of not what everybody wants to hear, but, both those guys have done a good job in what we've asked them to do. And both of them have developed nicely, and both of them have consistently made plays. Their decision-making, their judgment, their ability not to force things and take what the defense gives and distribute the ball with good decision-making, down in, down out, is probably the only thing that's going to be any different about them, because it's not physical ability or talent. So it's intangibles, leadership, decision-making, judgment, and all those types of things. And, both guys have done a good job in that regard as well. All right, thanks, guys.